here's the thing, guys. Your heart, it doesn't stop beating, like ever. Well, you know. I mean, like, you go to bed, right, and you sleep because you've worked a long day and you're tired and, like, someone was tuning you crap and you had a fight with your girlfriend and you're whatever. Like, you don't feel like brushing your teeth, you don't feel like taking a shower, you don't feel like getting out of the house that day, and your heart is like, look, I got this, I'm just gonna keep beating. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go to bed and then you wake up and your heart is like, don't even make a big deal about it. I just kept beating because it's important that we stay alive. It's like, it's legitimately mind-blowing. And I I think about that. Like when I'm like having a tough time, I'm just like, oh, because let's be honest, life can be hard, like not as a joke, for real. But you can rest, but you can never quit because your heart, guys, it's been putting in the hard miles since day one. And so, like, yeah, man. Anyway, I'm sorry that was a poem. It wasn't, but I'll do one now. I warned you guys, I shouldn't be allowed to talk. I should just do poems. This is it's a poem. I got my breasts early, grade 5. I was 10 or 11 when my blooming sex first flourished, modest and alien beneath my shirt. None of the other girls had breasts. I was always different, too early, too late. This is when I started walking with a hunch in my shoulders, an attempt to hide the swelling tide of my womanness. It was more than the fact that I was a tomboy, that I loved the freedom of a flat chest, easy comfort of shorts. It was that even then, I sensed a danger in this flowering. I wanted to hush it out of sight. I knew men took what they wanted. I knew men wanted what they liked. I knew men liked breasts. And I was terrified at this arithmetic's inevitable conclusion. In grade 7, by the time all my classmates were proudly sporting training bras, I was already the same cup size as my mother. I knew what women said about other women with large breasts. The words, always sharp-edged. People had told me about my period, instructed me on what to do when it finally came. But no one ever thought to offer any advice on how to navigate the changing gazes of men. Before I had language to speak of it, I knew the lingering stares, the mouths growing slippery and wet. I knew the hand of a man looking for a body to conquer before I understood that bodies were real estate to claim. And if he came, and if he took, even then, when there was nothing woman about me, when my chest was so flat and my hips so narrow, people often made the honest mistake of calling me boy. If there was something in me that beckoned to him even then, how could I possibly hope to silence it now when without my consent, my body began to swell and curve, fruit ripening in the sun. My first year of varsity in a new city, while walking down the street alone, a man I do not know wordlessly grabs my breast as he passes. He doesn't stop. Neither do I. I've always known this body is not mine alone. I clench my fists, but I never swing. Thank you.